Good evening, and once again welcome to my YouTube channel, Maths with Ease by Mr. Kamotho. And I want, as we conclude handling data 7 with the very last question, which focuses on a question in the exam practice, question number 3, which is asked as follows. Peter wants to pass his driving test. The probability that he passes at his first attempt is 0.7. When Peter passes his driving test, he does not take it again. If he fails, the probability that he will pass at the next attempt is 0.8. Now, the first question is complete the tree diagram for Peter's first two attempts. We are told that Peter is now doing his driving test and he wants to pass his test. And the probability that he passes in the first attempt is 0.7. That means the probability of failing is 0.3. If he passes in the first attempt, he does not attempt the driving test again. But if he fails, he will attempt it again. This time he may pass, this time he may pass, or even this time he may even fail. But the probability that when he does not pass in the first attempt, if he fails, the probability that he passes at the next attempt is 0.8. That means there is a probability of still failing in the second attempt, which is 0.2. Remember, we said every branch add up to 1. Every branch add up to 1. That's why you can see 0.7 plus 0.3 is 1. And that is part A of the question. It is answered that way. Now, let's go to part B of the question. And we are being told, calculate the probability that Peter needs exactly 2 attempts to pass his driving test. Peter needs exactly 2 attempts to pass his driving attempt. That means in the first attempt, he has to fail, and in the second attempt, he has to pass. The probability of failing and then passing. This is which channel? Failing and passing. You can see that root. This is 0.3 times 0.8, which is basically, let's see, 0.3 times 0.8. This is 0.24. The probability that he needs exactly 2 attempts, that means he must pass the driving test at the second attempt, is what we have realized to be 0.24. And that is the answer to part B of the question. Let us go to part C of the question. Now, calculate the probability that Peter passes his driving test at his third or fourth. At his third or fourth. Underline the word or. That means he has to, first of all, the probability that he has, first of all, to fail and then pass the third attempt, or it is the probability that he has to fail, and pass in the fourth attempt. Now, we are told that if he fails the first attempt, the probability that he wins the next attempt is 0.8. So even here, if he fails, he can continue now with the third attempt, and this time he can pass, or even this time he can fail. The passing probability remains 0.8, and the failing probability remains 0.2. If he fails the third attempt, he can even make another fourth attempt. He can pass this time, or he can even fail. Passing remains 0.8, failing remains 0.2. So if he passes in the third attempt, it follows that he has to fail 0.3 and fail 0.2 and now pass times 0.8. Fail and pass. The end is obviously multiplication. Or means plus. He has to fail 0.3 and fail the second attempt 0.2 and fail the third attempt times another 0.2 and this time pass, which times 0.8. And I want us to just calculate this, all of us, as we get the answers. So 0.3 times 0.2 times 0.8. What is that equals to? This is 0.048 plus what? What is 0.3 times 0.2 times another 0.2, 0.2 times now the passing on the fourth attempt, 0.8 equals to what? This is 9.6 times 10 raised to the power minus 3, which is 0.0096. The decimal point is here, so it goes back 3 steps. So, and it is now this one equals to that. When we have this plus 0.048, then we have 0.576. So this plus this is now what gives us the probability that he's going to pass at the third attempt or the fourth attempt, which is now this plus this 0.0576. And that is it. And that marks the end of that book. Thank you so much for following me. Let us meet in the next program or project.